Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw. Take 2 for the live crowd. We're going to try this again. On this episode, we're talking AEW Collision and WWE Smackdown. Larson, we've got ourselves a real world's champion, the ex-champion, CM Punk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Let's jump right into that. So, of course, when Phil made his return after injury and brawl out, he showed up on the debut episode of Collision, dropped a promo, and he had that red bag with him. Inside, he looted.
The sack.
Yeah.
Should he have chosen a burlap sack instead? He's old school.
That'd been old school. Yeah. Why not? But he alluded at the time that his AEW title, the one he never lost, was inside, and then he unveiled that on Collision on Saturday. Declared himself the real world champion, and then left, as he put it, his signature, his X on it.
He marked
painted over the faceplate, the front faceplate, middle of that X right through the E in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
It pretty much said, "Hey, Ricky Starks, you want to challenge me for this belt?" So, and again, declared himself the real world champion. No one's pinned him for it. No one's submitted him for it. Hence, using Punk's logic, he's still champion.
Right.
He doesn't regard injuries as a legitimate reason to vacate or drop a title.
No, not at all. Not at all. A hissy fit, yes. Injury, or no, I guess not.
Not even that.
No, not even a hissy, not even a big hissy fit. Yeah.
No.
So when we did this the first time, so we're broadcasting a little bit earlier for the live crowd because you got to see a guy about a thing, and then our connection dropped out. So this is take 2, as you asked, as you broached, as we were talking about on take 1. Isn't this going to lead to title unification?
You'd think somewhere down the line, because if you have, in this case, MJF or a champion who has been a crowned official champion by the promotion and has the title to show for it, and then you have someone who never lost the title is declaring themselves the real champion. That seems to be the collision course you're on, whether they do that at All Out, All In,
you
Full
see what
Gear,
you just did there? Collision course.
Revolution. Double or Nothing next year. I don't know. This scenario crossed my mind, though. Of course, let's fast forward to the end of Collision, where Adam Cole and MJF lost in their bid to get the tag titles from FTR. But there wasn't the breakup. There wasn't the swerve. There wasn't the turn at the end of the match.
Correct.
And it was actually done really well, I thought. But what if both Adam Cole and MJF were all in on this partnership, and MJF does have a title unification? That was CM Punk. And MJF convinces Adam Cole, "You got to help me win this." And that puts Adam Cole, if he's still trying to be a babyface, in a real bind.
Yeah.
Where he's got to help his friend cheat to win.
Yeah, right.
And that could set up something between CM Punk and Adam Cole maybe at some point.
I like that idea. I kind of feel like they're going to roll for a while with separate champions. Somebody in our chat earlier mentioned this, and I totally agree with it. I don't think you do this unveiling on the same episode that MJF actually shows up. I feel like MJF should sort of at this point become the de facto Dynamite champion, and CM Punk, because I know that like in the advertising and all that kind of stuff, MJF was clearly shown as, a Collision guy as well. He's champion of both brands, but then he shows up and on air doesn't bring up, because I know he cut like a promo afterwards where he talked about, it's not about Collision and Dynamite, it's all about AEW. And, I don't know. The big question is, the big deal here, I think, is, and I honestly think they're making it up as they go along. I don't think that there's a plan for unification. I think that's probably something that will become obvious, that it's like, okay, at some point we're going to do unification, but I don't think they're really considering anything in the near future, for the simple fact that I don't think CM Punk's going to lose his Real World's Championship, and I don't think he's going to go to Dynamite.
No.
And so it's going to be, this might be their version of like the brand split, basically. It's like, okay, you've got the big gold belt over here, and you've got the WWE title over here. Well, in this case, it's going to be, you've got the Pete on CM Punk title, marking his territory with that X brand on it, the brand X title. And then you've got And then
genuine Joker products. You got the AEW title over on Dynamite.
Right, exactly. You got genuine Joker product over there. And I wonder if it's just maybe, I mean, look, man, we all know that like Collision, the structure of the rosters was bred from weird backstage politics and backstage personalities, if not politics. Is this CM Punk's way of forcing his way onto Dynamite? He has been, according to his people in the trade publications of wrestling, he's been the one who's like, I can work with the Elite. You could put me in Blood and Guts and everything will be fine. And the Elite's like, we're legally not allowed to talk to you for some weird reason. And this is stuff is all that's played out in like the Wrestling Observer and PW Insider, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I would imagine nobody would want to be the lead guy on the secondary show. And at this point, Collision, it ain't going to get Dynamite's ratings simply because of its time slot.
Yeah, and especially next Saturday is running opposite SummerSlam.
And so if you're the guy who's like, hey, I want to be, and I'm not even saying this as a matter of like, oh, the guy's egocentric. The guy maybe thinks, hey, I want to have the freedom to be on any of these shows. I'd like to be on the Dynamite show because that's the A show. That's the show that's most watched.
Yeah.
So like being total unified champion, Larson, wouldn't that mean he'd have to show up on Dynamite?
I guess, but that would also kind of necessitate the Elite maybe not being there anymore. If there's some legal machinations in place that even prevents them from speaking to each other.
Yeah.
How are they going to coexist in the same show on a weekly basis?
CM Punk might be like, that's a YP, not an MP. You know, they have to deal with that. I don't know. It does sort of feel like, because I'll be honest with you, I loved it. I loved it on Collision when he brought out this thing and put a big old X on it, and how the spray paint happened to blot out the entire E for the Elite there. I mean, I couldn't imagine working for a company that has like the names of like these assholes that you hate, being part of the branding. And so, obviously a lot of people noted what had happened with the spray paint. And honestly, like you watch it live, I honestly do not think, I think maybe like he slowed down a little bit as he crossed the E. As he was doing the spray paint, but like the paint just sort of ran within, it sort of spread all over the plane of the E there. So it's sort of convenient that it blotted out the entire E. But I don't know. I get the feeling they're setting this up. Maybe the thought is as simple as, well, A, either we'll cross that bridge when we get there, or B, cooler heads will prevail. And eventually, like, we won't even have to worry about, is CM Punk going to be total unified champion, or maybe there will be somebody else who will come along and take it off, and before that's a problem we're going to have to deal with. But the way Punk is presenting himself on Collision, he's not losing that title anytime soon.
Well, here's an option for you too, and where it ranks in the power rankings, who knows? But they haven't announced hardly anything. They haven't announced anything for All In yet, and CM Punk mentioned, am I the first to talk about this on the show?
Right. Yeah.
This Wembley show. And if you want, I know they already sold out, but if you would add value to that show for everybody who bought that ticket, title unification bout, that's a pretty solid main event.
Do you think they would do that in Wembley as opposed to Chicago, which is happening a week later?
They wouldn't do it in Chicago if MJF was going to win the unification bout.
I don't think he would beat CM Punk at this point, because here's the thing also is that CM Punk ain't going to WWE, and I don't know that MJF is or isn't. I think there's a good possibility he will. I mean, I think that guy, assuming he has not signed a proper extension with AEW, and this whole thing of 2024 is a big story, which is entirely possible. Yeah. And I don't know. AEW has been pretty decent at like keeping things under wraps. Sometimes not so much, but sometimes they are. And I wonder if that's the kind of thing that they could keep under wraps if there was an extension signed and it's a big story. But the way Punk is presenting himself, MJF was on the show last night. He didn't even mention Punk's promo, which I thought creatively was a misstep. I think that
it really was.
Someone's
claiming to be the real champion. Well, you are the official world champion. Yeah, you should probably say something.
Yeah, I thought that was definitely a misfire. I think, you wait till next week when MJF's probably not going to be on the show, but the guy should absolutely mention it if he comes out there, even if he's like walking out with the title, putting it as he's walking down the ramp saying, this is the actual world title.
The camera, yeah.
But it also suggests to me that maybe they simply want to have like a proper brand split. What go ahead.
So Adam Cole, after the loss, presented the belt to MJF and said, "You're the champion."
Yeah, he did.
So,
but did that come off to you as a response to Punk, or just something that he naturally would have said anyways?
It came off as MJF upset that he lost the match for his team. Adam Cole was like, "Don't worry about it. You're the world champion."
That's what I thought too. Yeah. It didn't. It's not like he, looked into the camera and said, "I don't care what anybody around here says. This guy's the champion. He's the real champion." So
maybe it's a situation in kayfabe where MJF was so focused on getting ready for the match, he's completely unaware of what CM Punk came out and said during his promo.
I think that's a good way to think about it. MJF is very self-focused, anyways. But no, I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was different. I'll be honest. I like what they're doing with Collision. It's simple and it is very sort of, old school the way they're approaching it. And I have appreciation for that. I thought there was a couple of really good matches. I thought that Andrade Buddy match was
really good.
Freaking awesome. I thought that was like a pay-per-view level match on a Saturday night. So I thought that was really good.
Yeah. Of course, main event, FTR, Adam Cole and MJF, that was really good too.
That was excellent. Yeah, that was excellent.
Crowd super invested in seeing that double clothesline.
Yeah.
Even thought Darby versus Minoru Suzuki was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I thought that was a welcome surprise. Like, Minoru Suzuki.
Really, the only low point of the show was Aaron Solo attacking Miro. Keep Miro away from QTV, please.
Sorry, man. He's firmly there. He's firmly there. Yeah, that's a bummer too. But I mean, he just beat Camarada, so I mean, he was already there. But he just thought that maybe that was just like a one-off. But nope.
Well, I don't think Camarado's officially QTV. He was Factory, but I haven't seen him in QTV bits.
No, that's a good point. And also, was he not doing that gimmick anymore where he was like fake Razor Ramon or whatever he was doing?
I don't know, because I remember him getting an entrance.
Yeah, I don't know. Why isn't he part of QTV? That is weird. Maybe he's like, I don't want to be part of this shit. I'd rather just do my own thing. I'll take my chances.
Being cast adrift. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
In AEW rather than doing QTV.
Right. So yeah, Adam Cole and MJF did not win the tag titles. Dax doesn't have to get back on his podcast, so that's probably good for him. Less work to do.
That's good. That's
phenomenal match. And I thought the post-match stuff from a story perspective, I thought justified. I thought it was fine. Like, I would have preferred to have seen probably MJF and Cole win the titles, but the way they were presented after the fact with MJF, wanting to turn on Adam Cole, and then Cole is in the pole position here, when it comes to he can manipulate the shit out of MJF. Do you think that's what's going to happen? Is if anybody's going to turn on anybody, is it going to be Cole turning on MJF?
No, I think we talked about that during the Dynamite review, the possibility of Adam Cole seeing in the past MJF try to manipulate people, offer his friendship to people so MJF can get what he wants. Most recently, Sammy Guevara during the Four Pillars build-up, although it really led to nothing. But if, Adam Cole has watched MJF's career, he could see this as a thing that MJF regularly does, because and I saw something on social media about this, and it was a while ago, so apologies for not being able to mention who said it, about MJF searching for friendship in AEW. We've often assumed that, for example, the Sammy Guevara stuff with the Four Pillars, it was strictly him trying to befriend Sammy to manipulate him to, it was pretty self-evident. He wanted Sammy to lay down during the main event so MJF can get the easy victory. But if it's a thing where this is kind of MJF's thing, he's looking to build friendships because he doesn't have any friends. And here's Adam Cole, a good guy, who is saying, you're becoming my best friends. I can see if MJF has a thing about trying to find friendship, him letting his guard down for once.
Yeah.
But then, then it gets to the territory, well, is Adam Cole, by doing this, still babyface? Is he not? I mean, there's a way they could probably book it where MJF is about to turn on Adam Cole. And Adam Cole's like, nope, I knew you were going to do that. So here you go. So he still comes out of it looking like a babyface. But yeah, if it's a situation where Adam Cole is using his offer of friendship to manipulate MJF, that's a different route. That's kind of the opposite side of the coin of what we see MJF do countless times.
I'd love to see Adam Cole turn down the title opportunity at first. Say, look, man, no, as long as because I thought it'd be cool for them to get the tag titles, and then whenever they lose the tag titles, that's when the title opportunity happens. The title shot happens. I sound like WWE right now. That's when the title shot happens. So there's that tension of when we lose this, it's all over, Yeah. But I like this idea of like Adam Cole saying, no, because you're my best friend, I'm not going to let the title get between us. And then that'll lead to the actual turn where he's like, the reason he does that, as opposed to just taking the title shot, is manipulation. I can get him emotionally in a place where he's so messed up, it makes him more vulnerable. I love the idea that Adam Cole is a reluctant babyface, He's like, he's a good guy, but really deep down in the world of wrestling, not Chugs, in the world of wrestling, he's kind of a piece of shit and he's happy being it.
Yeah.
And he realizes that's kind of the path to gold anyways. And so let's get MJF to soften up emotionally and mentally, and then I'll take advantage of him, and then I'll take that title off him. I think that could be a really interesting story they tell. Yeah. I don't know how that squares. Now that's why I think they're going to tell that story maybe before they go to like unification, which I hope is a ways off. I hope they keep this brand split separate. Keep MJF on Dynamite or wherever the AEW champion is there. Keep the Real World's champion on Collision. And then that's what I'm going to call it, man. The Real World's champion.
Well, that's what
that's what he calls it. And then down the line, like, I don't know, see if the Elite leave. See if MJF leaves. And when you're a couple months into 2024, everybody's squared away, what the pieces look like. Because if the Elite leaves, CM Punk is going to be Dynamite. They're rebranding the entire company. I don't know what the E is going to stand for. Maybe it'll be entertainment. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like they had that version of the logo with just an AEW without All Elite Wrestling on it.
Do you think they would go to where it doesn't mean anything? Because I know we looked this up before. Does WWE actually stand for anything these days?
I don't think so.
Did we look? I think we looked this. Can somebody check their corporate page and see if it actually still stands for?
Yeah, I remember looking it up, but I'm
World Wrestling Entertainment. Or did they change it so that it's like KFC, which doesn't actually stand for Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore?
Yeah. Doesn't, like, from a corporate standpoint, doesn't stand for anything. Yes.
What is that called again? When they lose the actual like words in the thing, it's like, no, it's not WWE. It's not World Wrestling Entertainment anymore. It's just WWE. It's like, well, that's what it means. No, it doesn't. It's like when people say DC Comics, Detective Comics. Doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense, Larson. We've got all sorts of merch right now at friendoshop.com. Why are you saying, oh dear? We're here to promote our stuff. friendoshop.com.
Yeah, I know, but there's other ways to promote.
You use code PURPLE. What? I'm just talking about friendoshop.com. We got a bunch of great merch over there. We got all sorts of great stuff. But you know what? I'm not really the person who should be talking about this. We've got ourselves a celebrity impersonator. That's right. Phil McDonald, who does like an uncanny Stone Cold Steve Austin. And for the Twitch crowd who's watching this live, they won't see like the card here. But you will see me. I'll be lip syncing to his ad read because I wrote this. Okay, so here we go. Here's a pre-recorded ad read. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Stone Cold Steve Austin impersonator Phil McDonald. It's a little bit early in the day. Why are we doing this early today? Anyways, this is a pre-recorded ad read for friendoshop.com. Use promo code PURPLE to get 20% off. Don't you love purple things? I know I do, including this wonderful line of shirts. Also, engorged bell ends. Don't interrupt me. I know you don't like engorged bell ends. But this is pre-recorded, so I'm going to keep on talking. So shut your yap, Larson. Specifically you talking right now, making a face. All right.
Not pre-recorded.
All right, listen. Okay, it is definitely pre-recorded, actually. Listen up. We got all the merchandise. If you don't like purple, we got a bunch of non-purple merchandise as well. Over at friendoshop.com, use code PURPLE, you damn sons of bitches. Wow, thank you,
Definitely
Phil
not
McDonald.
pre-recorded.
Thank you for that actual Phil McDonald Pre-recorded ad read.
Why does your laugh sound a lot like his? I wonder why.
There are coincidences in this world, man. I've seen all sorts of crazy shit
some
in my
things
life.
go beyond mere coincidences.
There's also, of course, we've got the Patreon and channel memberships. Patreon.com/Stephen Larson and channel memberships. Yes. And here to tell you all about what benefits you receive from helping to support Going in Raw beyond just the good feeling it gives you to support a couple idiots like us. Here is Brett the Hitman Horse to tell you all about Patreon and channel memberships. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, my goodness.
That's right. This is a pre-recorded message from Brett Hitman Horse.
Is that right?
This is absolutely correct. It's pre-recorded. And so
answer my questions then if it's pre-recorded.
I'll answer anybody's question about patreon.com/Stephen Larson. Also, you can click that join button, at youtube.com/Stephen Larson. That's right. Nay. That's what you want to say if somebody asks you the question, do you not love all these benefits there? You get access to bonus shows, and you also get access to question threads and the big predictions challenge. I hear that Larson now is almost he's sniffing at first place there. He's tied for fourth place right now in the big G1 predictions challenge we got.
Yeah, pretty exciting, huh?
That's very exciting. Yeah, this is a pre-recorded message though.
How is it pre-recorded?
So stop interrupting me. Maybe we could put you in the sharpshooter right after I mate with a horse. To try to make a real like a horse person is what I'm trying to do these days.
All right, thank you for the plug, Brett Hitman Horse. You can be gone now.
All right, I'm gonna go now. My pre-recorded ad's about to end here, but I just want to bring it up. Just go ahead and hit that join button if you want to see a man mate with a horse. Oh my God! Don't. That is not part of the. That's not part of the deal. Okay, that's not part of the deal.
It's not.
Brett Hitman Horse. You do not get to see a man mate with a horse.
No, just
click on join.
About it. Stop talking about it. Stop talking. I can't even talk now. Stop talking.
Yeah, you're flustered right now. I would be too
flustered.
If somebody thought that you can watch somebody.
All right, let's talk about Collision. Let's just jump right into it. Show opened up with the customary cold open promos. We got one from Darby. He's like, I want to fight somebody tonight. Yeah. Then we got Adam Cole and MJF, and then after them, FTR hyping up tag team title match main event.
Mitch.
First match, we got Buddy Matthews taking on Andrade in the ladder match. Oh, wow.
That shoulder bit was kayfabe, right? That wasn't real.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
You can't just do that shit where he goes, and then he just runs back in there and dumps Andrade off the ladder.
You wouldn't think. Although, it's a finger, though, but I keep on seeing this video on Instagram about how Kobe Bryant dislocated his finger during a game, and the trainer just popped it back in, and he went and continued playing.
Maybe Buddy saw that clip on Twitter and was like, hey, can we do the same thing with my shoulder?
But I understand the finger is a lot less complex joint than a shoulder is.
Mm-hmm, yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I don't think that was
emotion
real.
And such. I don't know.
It looked really cool though, and honestly, the match didn't need that because these guys were just beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they were.
We had a sunset flip power bomb from ladder to other ladder, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around. That was cool, but it was just hard hitting in gen. Even if you took the ladders out of this match, like the back elbows, the pump kicks, they were just beating the living shit out of each other.
They were.
Yeah, the knees, so many knees.
Yeah, it was great. So the ladder match, Andrade's mask was suspended above the ring. And the finish so there's some handcuffs that Julia Hart produced.
Right.
And at first, Andrade gets handcuffs to the turnbuckle. And then Buddy tries to hit Andrade with a chair. Andrade hits Buddy in the face with his boot, driving chair into Buddy's face. So when that happens, Julia drops the key.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So then Andrade picks it up, unlocks himself, and then handcuffs Buddy to the turnbuckle. So then Julia tries to get some bolt cutters to try to cut him free. Andrade throws the key into the crowd. Mm-hmm. So Andrade starts to climb the ladder. And at a certain point, Julia's like, all right, buddy, you have to free yourself. So she goes and she hops on Andrade's back while he's climbing up the ladder. Eventually, Buddy frees himself. He climbs the opposite side. They fight a little bit. Andrade pushes Buddy off.
Yeah.
And then he gets Julia from off his back and then pushes her off the ladder onto Buddy. And they go falling through a table, and then he goes and gets his mask to get the win.
This is going to go further, right? Like Malachi is going to be like, hey, I want my
let me
mask
ask you
back.
This. Usually Andrade wears like the white pinstripe gear,
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. He had, yeah.
He was an all like black top, black
He looked
pants.
like Diesel. He looked like Diesel.
He did look like Diesel, yes.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
just thought it was a
foreshadowing.
shout out to Kevin Nash, maybe.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Maybe a bit of foreshadowing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had like a new like fancy jacket on too for his entrance gear. I thought he looked like $1 million. Maybe now, he's like, I need something because I don't have my mask. Maybe with mascara back, he's gonna put on the pinstripes again. But I thought he looked awesome. So I mean, you would think, man, that we're gonna get like a big solo, or not solo. We're gonna get like a big singles match. Andrade versus Malachi. Maybe that'll be at one of the pay-per-views coming up. It should be because
it really should be. I know
that match could be absolutely killer.
Oh heck yeah. After that, we had a Miro interview, or we were about to. Then Aaron Solo runs in, and hits Miro with the chair.
Boo! And
so Miro eventually fends him off, blasts him with the chair. And by that point, Shivani has run off because he want to get involved in this brawl.
Yeah, of course.
And so Miro's standing there after fending off Solo, and just yells out, "Shivani!" like he wants to continue the interview.
yeah, I was kind of curious. Shivani! Like Shivani is leading this new faction.
Yeah, no, it's not QTV anymore.
Yeah,
it's Tony TV.
Yeah, exactly. It's Tony TV. So yeah, that was kind of funny. But no, I agree with you, man. I don't want Miro anywhere near QTV.
No.
What is that garbage? Anyways, after that we had Darby Allin, his open challenge. Minoru Suzuki came out to fight him, which is pretty great. Suzuki did Darby Allin because like Kaze Ninare was playing, and then Darby just like attacked him, didn't he? How did it go?
Yeah, and like destroyed him with a suicide dive. That was rough. Yeah,
that was awesome. In the end, Darby was able to evade a Gotch pile driver, and then he was Suzuki ended up choking him out with a sleeper, but then Darby, in sort of a desperation move here, reversed that. He rolled back and got the pin there in the win over Minoru Suzuki. Suzuki pissed off about that, but then Christian showed up on the Tron and says, "Congratulations, Darby. That was a hell of a win. Seems like you're finally ready for the Tint title. On the surface, it would seem that way, but it seems to me you have some other stuff going on here, namely Swerve Strickland, namely your former friend AR Fox. You've got a bit of a distraction going on right now, and you can't be distracted while you're vying for our TNT title. See, things have changed since you last had this title, namely me. This title is more prestigious now than it's ever been in its entire existence. This title has never meant as much as it does right now, draped over my shoulder. You're no longer qualified to be TNT champion. I'll send you back to the mall, to Hot Topic, wherever the hell you came from. You'll never touch this title so long as it's in my possession."
Yeah.
Good stuff there for Christian Cage.
Yeah, Christian doing excellent heel work. After that, we had Tony Storm, Hikaru Shida video package. They have a women's title bout on Dynamite 200.
Yep.
Then we had Samoa Joe taking on Gravity.
You think they're going to bring back the tunnels for one episode for Dynamite 200?
That'd be pretty great.
We should petition
back
to get
the color splash stuff, so hopefully.
Yeah, we should petition to get those titles to stick around.
Tunnels.
Who would get the Cody Vader, though?
Oh, Phil.
Punk? Yeah, Punk.
Yeah,
Is Punk going to be on Dynamite 200?
Doubtful.
Probably not, right?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Wow.
So yeah, Samoa Joe versus Gravity. Gravity got some of his stuff in, but he goes up top looking for a crossbody, and then Joe steps away and then mocks Gravity's zero G walk. That was pretty funny.
Because Gravity was going too much with the Gravity walking.
He was.
In sort of the first 5 minutes or so. He was doing a lot of he was spamming the taunt button with the Gravity walk stuff.
Way too much. And so then Joe hits him with a senton, a bunch of strikes, muscle buster. He wins.
Yeah.
That was pretty great. Doing
it was good stuff.
Zero G walk.
That was good stuff.
After that, we had a CM Punk interview.
Oh man, this was long. So
it was long.
So what do you make? Because it seems like, when you talk about, we talked earlier about this MJF Cole heel face. Punk is just going to be Punk, right? This isn't like, it's like the people who don't like him, he's going to be a bad guy to them. The people that like him, he's going to be a good guy to them. And I kind of like that. But does it present any issue? Because plenty of people in the crowd who don't like Punk and that do like Ricky Starks, they were like all in on Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is a bad guy. Are they just going to roll with like, hey, listen, you are who you are. I am who I am. And then we'll just figure it out. Does it seem like that's going to be the thing?
Yeah, it seems like it. Unless they're doing a real slow build to Punk actually full on turning heel. Because he's doing the Hogan.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He was wearing all black. He did the spray paint on the title. So there's like a variety of like heel influences. But yeah, the Hogan, the Hollywood Hogan one is pretty strong there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if he comes out in a couple of weeks with the bleached mustache, well, you know.
And then Ricky
keeping the
Stark
rest of
sends
his
him
hair
like
his normal color. Yeah,
Ricky Stark sends him a package, and it's Phil's head in it.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Then we know
stuff
which direction we're going. If like Phil's in his locker room, he's got the bleached mustache, and he's in front of his mirror.
Yeah.
And then Ricky Stark shows up on the other side of the mirror. Exactly. And then you got Nigel on commentary saying he's in the wall.
He's in the wall.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun,
My
dun,
reflection is being televised.
Oh yeah, that's good. So anyways, Punk starts off. He says, what's in the bag? He says, I showed up here about 2 hours ago. I want to let you know I'd never let you down. I always make my... So much of what he says these days just sounds like shots, and you have to piece together who's he taking a shot at. Like, because is it always the Elite? He says, I always make my towns. Did they no-show a town? I'm trying to piece together what's the subtext
They're
here.
executive vice presidents. I doubt they would just no-show something.
He says, I always make my towns, and I always show up for the people in the building. There's a whole lot of things going on in Collision that no one really meets head on. No one really wants to talk about certain things, so leave it to me to talk about them. First up, Wembley Stadium. Am I going there? Is Punk wrestling on the Wembley Stadium show? Maybe we'll know by the end of the night, but it's got a lot to do with what's in the bag. Ricky Starks has a lot to do with what's in the bag. He beat me twice. He says, I can take the L, but can you take the win knowing you're a cheater? As far as what's in the sack goes, it's not so much that I've been carrying around, but I've been left holding it. He said, that's the funny thing about responsibility. It sucks a lot of the times. Boy, that's the truth. He says, sometimes you got to wake up and do things you don't want to do because you're the responsible adult in the room. Again.
I know. Feels like a shot.
Was that a shot?
I know.
What's going on there? So anyways, he continues. The crowd starts chanting, what's in the bag? And so he does the Hogan pose thing. Listen to the crowd. He says, I think Ricky Starks is a cheater, and I think since I've been back, he's mistaken my kindness for weakness. When I came back holding this very same red sack in my hand, I said I wasn't going to be nice anymore. So this is me not being nice anymore, because the truth doesn't care if you're nice or if you're right or wrong. But this case, I'm right. I'm the champion. So he pulls his title out of the sack, and he says, this title has my name on it because I earned it. Nobody's pinned or submitted me for it. This title is still covered in my blood from when I won it last September when I beat Mox for it, and since then, nobody's beaten me for it. So he puts the belt on the mat. He pulls out a can of spray paint, and he proceeds to start a project. He says, now it's got my symbol on it. And he said, I licensed it from Elon Musk. And he spray paints an X over the faceplate, and he picks it up. He says, this X has represented CM Punk since 1997. It's the foundation I built my pro wrestling career on. The X means I'm straight edge, and straight edge means I'm better than you. The title's mine. It belongs on Collision. This title is not stolen, unlike my catchphrase, which is a shot at MJF. I guess was the whole thing a shot at MJF? MJF not making towns and stuff? Yeah, that makes more sense, huh? Yeah. All right. So anyways, Ricky Starks interrupts. Larson?
Yeah, sure. Ricky Starks interrupts this. Hold on. Before I go any further, we're going to get a real entrance here, because he just does like the thing where he ambles out. And so he goes, all right, I'm going to go back, hit my music. I like that.
It's a reference. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's good.
So he comes out, comes to the ring. So it's funny because he came out to say that first little bit with the mic in his hand. He makes his entrance, no mic. Mm-hmm, he gets back down to the ring before he gets another mic. Mm-hmm. And so he says to Punk, that was a great story you told here, but to be honest with you, Ricky's kind of sold on gold right now, the way I see it. Regardless how you feel about how I went about things, you would have done the same exact thing. So I bit you before you could bite me, pal. What you have on your shoulder right now belongs to me. I feel like I am owed that. Whatever you have is mine. I have beaten you not once, but twice, and that is more than anyone else can say. Honestly, not only am I the real world champion, I'm also the face of Collision.
Yeah. So they go back and forth a little bit, and Punk's like, sounds like Ricky wants a title shot. That's what Ricky's getting at. And Ricky's like, I deserve one. And he says, I think you owe a big assist to 2 refs. I don't blame them, but if I'm going to give you a title shot, I need extra eyeballs out there, a special guest referee. And Ricky's like, okay, yes, let's do it. I don't care. Get whoever you got to dig out of your past. Dave Prazak, somebody from Stamford. Of course, that makes the crowd go, ooh. Mm-hmm. He says, get somebody. I can do it twice. I can beat you twice. I'm absolute Ricky Starks, and I'm so damn nice. And so it's revealed that it's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which, thanks to Ian Riccaboni, I know that he was a special guest ref back in Ring of Honor, and he called it straight down the middle for CM Punk. I love Ian, because it was Ian this week on commentary, right? Because Kelly's doing the G1, I really love Ian Riccaboni's commentary.
Really good.
It feels sometimes Excalibur just feels like he wants to shove information in my mouth. And with Ian, it just sounds more like he's realizing this stuff as it comes up, as it's happening. The memories are coming in and he's relaying that to us. Cause I was like, why is this a big revelation? Why is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat just a big revelation? Yeah. And then he explained it. It's like, oh, okay. Cool. That's cool. And he's enthusiastic about it as opposed to just,
Yeah. No, Ian's energy is really good. Yeah. So I guess he's probably got, another couple weeks? So G1 goes till, I think, August 10th or so?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer than that. Maybe it's after that. I don't remember exactly. So after that, we had a video package for the main event. And then we had Bang Bang Gang, the Guns, and Juice Robinson taking on El Hijo del Vikingo, Darius Martin.
How'd you like that entrance there, man? For Bang with
pretty great.
Adding Juice to it, wasn't that great?
That was great. Action Andretti was also a part of the other team. I really liked the addition of Jay White in form of cardboard cutout at ringside.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Because if the Bang Bang Gang is there, you need a Switchblade as well.
It's a Switchblade era, man.
It is Switchblade era. In the end, the Guns end up hitting Darius Martin with 310 to Yuma to get the win. Really fun tag match, though.
Yeah, no, it was really good stuff. It was good stuff. After that, we had Kiera Hogan versus Mercedes Martinez. They gave this plenty of time. It set up some TBS title stuff here. Mm-hmm. Mercedes ended up winning with Dragon Sleeper. She doesn't let go of the hold, though, because she's a bad guy until Statlander runs to the ring to make the save. Chris is checking on Kiera Hogan, and Mercedes blasts her in the back of the head with a TBS title. And then Willow runs to the ring, and Mercedes takes her leave. So hopefully we'll get some promos, multiple match. Wouldn't that be something else, man? If Punk was like, you want to stick it to him over there at Dynamite? We're going to have multiple women's matches. We're going to feature them prominently. Hey, I don't care if it's out of spite or what. Let's get it done. Let's get it done.
Yeah, let's get it done.
Use your power for the purpose of good and not just the power of the purpose of Phil.
Yes, exactly. What did Triple H say about him? You want change so long as it benefits you? Is that what he said?
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
Prove Triple H wrong, Phil.
Tell him when he's telling lies or something.
Yes. Then we had our main event, MJF and Adam Cole taking on FTR. The crowd was super into this match. FTR getting booed. Double clothesline chants throughout.
This match was hot. There was heat, man. This was a hell of a response here from the crowd. This is good stuff.
It was really good. So far during MJF and Adam Cole's union as tag team, MJF is the one that gets isolated for like the middle portion of the match, like consistently. It's always hot tag to Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Hope spot fizzles out. Hot tag to Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of great stuff, especially after the hot tag to Adam Cole or MJF. It's like there's like several tombstone spots where they're teasing it, and eventually MJF hits one. At one point, Dax is calling for a Panama Sunrise. Cole breaks that up. So at the finish sees FTR looking for a shatter machine on Adam Cole. MJF gets the ring and pushes Adam Cole out of the way.
Right.
FTR looks for a shatter machine on MJF. He evades that.
Yeah.
He's looking for a heat seeker on Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Dax rolls him up with a handful of tights.
Mm-hmm.
FTR had to cheat to win.
Yeah.
To get the victory. So afterwards, like after the loss, MJF is in the corner just pissed at himself. He's upset. So Cash offers his hand to Adam Cole. He shakes it. Cole also shakes Dax's hand, all while MJF is just beside himself in the corner. So eventually Cole goes over and tries to console him. And MJF's like, I blew it. It's on me. I lost the match for us. And Cole says, no, we lost. And then he rolls out of the ring. He gets the AEW title, and he tells MJF, you're the AEW champion. You have nothing to be ashamed of. And hands him the belt.
Yeah.
And so Adam Cole, he goes and turns his back to MJF and starts like undoing his wrist tape and stuff. And MJF gets to his feet. And Cole's like, come on, crowd, cheer for MJF.
Yeah.
And then MJF loads up to hit Cole with the title. He's just loading up for a shot with the belt.
Yeah.
And Cole senses it. I think he senses the crowd kind of change their tenor.
Isn't that, I you know what, man? Too many times wrestlers are like either oblivious to the crowd or they're like, you know, they're like, they just play
confused by the reaction. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And in this case, Cole's chug spider sense started tingling. He understood what was going to happen. He was like, all right, man, just go ahead and do it. And he loads up. And then, of course, it doesn't happen. He turns around and they give a big old hug. Now, what I really wish would have happened, and it's a small change, it's a small difference. Instead of Cole turning around, he expects the hit, and MJF runs up behind him, drops the belt, and hugs him from behind, that Cole is surprised by it. But that's such a small detail.
Yeah.
The crowd was eating this up. It was so good. And for now they remain best friends.
They are, yes, for now. Important caveat there for now. Had a SmackDown on Friday, as you mentioned. In terms of storyline developments, particularly with the Bloodline stuff, nothing huge. It was just Jay saying to Roman, "Yeah, I beat you once, so I think I can beat you again." That's pretty much. We had a 12-minute opening segment that was kind of like the punchline for.
Yeah, it was good because it was Roman
good,
getting the upper hand on Jay, with the debate, I guess. And then Jay, with one line was able to basically eviscerate Roman's confidence there. And that led to Roman and Jay dropping him with maybe the two most protected finishes in WWE right now, Roman Spear and the Samoan Spike.
Yeah.
Dropping Jay with that. Probably, look, a lot of people are on LA Night Watch right now, and because they're looking at that U.S. title, we can talk a little bit about what happened.
Well, let's talk about what's also in the thumbnail and the title, and that's Rey Mysterio. So
that's what I was getting to. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry. Okay. During his match with Santos Escobar, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, it seems like during the dive out to the outside was when he got hurt, but he seems like there was something going on even before that. Because I'd heard that he had gotten hurt Friday night, and I watched it Saturday, and I can't really place the point in the match where it seemed like he was more deliberate in what he was doing, and Santos was talking to him a lot in the pre-C of the dive, which actually was right before they called the match off.
I kind of feel that because I knew what had happened before I actually watched the match, and so I was sort of waiting for it. And there was one spot before, and like you, I can't remember exactly what it was, but maybe did Santos hit him with a no? Did Ray hit a suicide dive on? Maybe okay, no, I know what it was. When Ray whiffed on the splash to the outside, you know how he does the sliding splash to the outside.
Yeah.
I thought that it might have been there because it wasn't long after that Santos did this the suicide dive and they had to call the match off. Now it might have just been hitting the head on the back. It might have simply been that. But you're right. Like earlier than that, it did seem like they were working around something, and maybe I was just looking too much into it because I knew what was to come.
It's entirely possible, yeah.
But if nothing else, Rey Mysterio seemingly, and I think this was confirmed by Fightful Select, was legitimately injured during that match, and they're thinking it might be a concussion from the suicide dive to the outside. Which,
So
I mean, seemingly also doesn't seem to have changed the finish. Apparently, Santos was supposed to go over clean. And there was not going to be, I think, the end there where they're hugging in the ring seems like it was probably still going to be the thing, because if he was supposed to win clean, it wouldn't have been like, oh, I'm a bastard now. Now, I don't know. Is this match still not supposed to take place? I mean, I'm assuming it's not taking place at SummerSlam still.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's going to take place Friday.
Sinister Seal seems to think that Meltzer said it happened before the dive.
I can't remember who said it was probably before the dive, but yeah. I saw
Oh, really? Okay. So it's a possibility. Do you see any chance of so this isn't going to happen at SummerSlam? It probably might happen any chance, is this going to happen on this coming Friday?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. All right. And you giving Santos any chance to win this? He already beat Austin Theory, which makes me think that he ain't going to win again.
No chance, no.
Yeah. All right. Oh, so White Brownie says the match is on the SmackDown after SummerSlam.
Oh, all right. Interesting.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought maybe they'd do it the SmackDown before, just to, so it doesn't feel like a total clip show. Like we'll have a good weighty main event for the Go Home episode.
Oh yeah. No, they got to get all those clips in.
Yeah, I guess so.
They got to get all that shit in because they just that last SmackDown before SummerSlam. You know how it is. It's just a whole lot of nothing. Like, I was going to suggest we do a watch along, but I'm like, they don't do anything on the Smackdowns before.
They don't do anything.
So I don't think so. Anyways, it opened up with a Jey Uso promo. He says, main event Jey Uso's in your city. He sort of recalls stuff. I'm sorry. This is the Roman.
Yeah, Roman interrupts.
Sorry. It started with this as Jey Uso promo. So Roman interrupts, and he tells the crowd to acknowledge him. They do. Roman says, you want to know why you like the Usos? Because of me. Little Jay, you must have forgot. When the tribal chief is scheduled to appear, he opens the show. Why do you think they called you the right-hand man? Because I made you that. Why do you think they call you main event Jey Uso? Because I made you that. And now that you don't have any of that, you're out here trying to do what I do? You're trying to open my show? You're trying to be the head of the table? You're trying to be the face of the company? All you wanted for 3 years was to be the tribal chief. You thinking you're the tribal chief now? Larson, Jey
shakes
Uso.
his head. Yes, I'll be Jay. Jay shakes his head no and says, no, man, I never wanted any of that. I didn't want none of that. All I did for you was watch your back, do what I did what family does, support you, man. I've been your right-hand man for 3 years, through the mud, through the trenches, no question asked, because you're my tribal chief, because I believed in you, man. I believed you could lead this company, and more importantly, I believed you could lead this family. But you broke this family, and now I got to do what I have to do, Oos. Man, you broke the family. You broke the bloodline. You broke Jimmy, and it's all your fault.
Roman says, no, just shut your mouth. I'm not going to sit here and take the blame. That's not my fault. That's your fault. Your jealousy brought that on him. Let me ask you. Let me tell you something, brother. As soon as he got hurt, what did you do? He asked for a title match, y'all, because you're selfish. Let's backtrack to 3 years ago. The only reason you became the right-hand man is because Jimmy was hurt. If he wasn't hurt, you didn't have a chance. You took that from him. You don't even get it, do you? You're going to be all alone. You screwed your twin brother. Your younger brother loves and respects me more than he does you. So when I beat you, you're done. You're out of here. You're not part of this legacy. This history done. As the wise man would say, let's turn every stone. Let's say you actually beat me. Then that means you take this and you take everything from me. Right now, I'm no longer the tribal chief because of you. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to be Roman Reigns. So that means I could do whatever I want to do. But you ain't got nobody, man. The fact that you're standing here and still want to do this blows my mind. I don't get it. You can't beat me, Jay. Little Jay, you can't beat me. I want to know what's going through your mind right now because I can't understand how you actually think you could beat me.
So Jay really takes his time. He's really thinking about it. He goes, because I already beat you. I pinned you. I'm the only one to do it in the SummerSlam. I'm going to beat you again. And with a hop in his step, Jay leaves the ring.
Is that when, or does it come later when he puts his arm on his show? I think it's at this point when he sort of puts his arm on. He like gives him a dominant position here. Yeah. He puts his arm around his neck. He says, "Because I already beat you." Ooh, that was good.
That was good.
So then we see Jay walking backstage. We're coming back from commercial now. Waller steps up to him. He's like, "Oh, you want to be in a Grayson Waller effect?" He says, "Little Jey Uso in the Grayson Waller effect." And then Jay laughs and slaps the shit out of him. That leads to their match coming up later. Yep. But first we had Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar. Shows Austin Theory in the luxury box. And Michael Cole says, there's Austin Theory with all his friends in the luxury box.
Yeah.
And you see Austin Theory painfully eating popcorn. Kernel after kernel after kernel. You know this guy has got a hell of a dietary routine, and I'm not sure popcorn factors into it, Larson.
Oh, I'm sure that was if the dietary needs were kept in mind when ordering that popcorn. No butter, a little bit of salt.
Yeah.
Just dry.
Just dry as can be. And he's just eating one piece at a time.
Yep.
Anyways, so yeah, we had mentioned this, like what we got of this match was really, really good. But after a suicide dive, the match was called off. Santos was declared the winner. They hug in the middle of the ring. Santos not really happy with how this turned out.
The nature of the win, yeah.
The nature of the win, exactly.
Yeah.
After that, we had a Bianca Belair interview. Kayla asked what's her mindset ahead of SummerSlam. Bianca says, the numbers don't lie. Don't favor anybody in a triple threat match, but I stay ready, so I don't have to get ready, so I'm ready for anything. That brings in the women's tag champs, Chelsea and Sonya. Chelsea says, normally math isn't really my thing, but 3 triple threat? Let me put something in the mix. 11. And Sonya's like, 11. The number of days we've been women's tag champs, the number of days we've gone without a celebration. And Chelsea follows up with, actually, it's very insulting considering we're the best women's tag champs ever. She says, Sonya, you know what gives me the ick? And Sonya says, the fact that Bianca's no longer champ, but the attention's still on her. Chelsea's like, if it's not about Bianca, it's about Charlotte. If it's not about Charlotte, it's about Bianca. And so basically they challenge So Bianca says, don't be disrespectful. You already interrupted my interview, but if you want to keep on talking, we could have our own triple threat match, me versus you guys. Yeah. And then Charlotte steps in and says, look at you bullies talking behind my back. She says, I can't have you outnumbered, Bianca. I need you 100% at SummerSlam. So what do you say? You want to tag up with me against the new champs here? And then Bianca's like, no, not really. And she's like, that makes me want to do it even more. I'm going to go talk to Adam Pearce. So we have that match set up later. Like Charlotte just bullies her way into a match. That was good.
Yeah, I know. Then we had Ashanti the Adonis versus LA Knight. So we come back from commercial and Hit Rose talking crap about New Orleans. They're entered by LA Knight.
Huge pop. Just a massive pop.
So he gets on the mic and says, let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, wait a minute. I knew Will Smith was in the game, but I didn't know Uncle Phil became a rapper. Oof. So this upsets Top Dollar.
Yeah.
And he says, you say who's better than Top Dollar? A lotta.
Yeah.
I think you said before we came on the air that Nola is corny, right? But I don't know. The way B-Fab's looking at me, I think she's got a tingle in her loins. I'd say she's horny.
Yeah.
He continues, but business before pleasure, and business is with this man. So Ashanti, I tell you what, a lot of people claim to be undeniable. A lot of people claim to be inevitable. I live it. What that means is tonight you get to be next to get dropped on your head, courtesy of the megastar, with everybody saying, LA Knight, yeah. And then he beats Ashanti really quickly.
With the billionaire finger trap.
Yeah,
man. Hugely over. Massively over. Yeah. Afterwards, and we get more LA Knight a little bit later, but first we have Jay backstage looking at his phone. Adam Pearce steps in and says, hey, after what happened earlier between you and, Grayson, voila. He's literally been beating down my door looking for a match with you tonight. Jay says he's been running his mouth tonight. I'm going to make it nice and quick. And then Pearce makes the match official. And then we have Lashley drinking some fine wine with the Street Profits. And Lashley says, last week I had a talk with Trick and Mello. They had a lot of great things to say about you guys. They spoke very highly of the Street Profits, as they should, because you guys are stars. You should be treated like stars. And he looks at Dawkins. He's like, and you should dress like stars. And so Ford looks over at Dawkins as well. They're just staring at him as he's figuring it out. He's swirling his wine, sort of oblivious. And he says, oh, what, you're talking about me? You're not liking the sweats? And Lashley says, I have nothing against sweats, but I got something a little more fitting for you. And then this lady brings in a whole racket, just the finest fashion.
Yeah,
and
looks like some great looking suits, yeah.
And Lashley continues. He says, courtesy of the Almighty, it's all on me. And Dawkins gets very excited about his new wardrobe.
Oh.
It should. What would have punctuated this better, though? Because you got Ford looking like a model. You got Lashley looking like a model. And Dawkins he was wearing all black. He really should have had some stained sweatpants.
Yeah.
Like really dressed down, like a 3X shirt from Walmart that he just got, because of 4th of July. It's in America with a big American flag on it, and
maybe they were sweatpants, but then it's like, oh, it's hot, it's summer now. I'm gonna cut him and make him into shorts.
It's like the Steve situation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
He's got the cut-off sweats for shorts.
The cut-off sleeves on the shirt, but they're it's uneven because he did it himself. He didn't even get somebody in wardrobe to do it for him.
No, he just took scissors to the sleeves and let the sleeves end to the floor as they may.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So then we got Charlotte and Bianca teaming up against Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. So Bianca's isolated for a while. Eventually, though, she hits Chelsea and Sonya with a double suplex, gets the hot tag to Charlotte. She goes on a run. In the end, though, Bianca's going to get the win. She's going to hit a KOD on Chelsea, but Charlotte tags herself in, hits Chelsea with a huge boot while Bianca still has her up for the KOD and covers her to get the win. Bianca not happy about it.
No. She's like, man, what's your deal? And Charlotte's like, look, let's just celebrate. Come on, we won this. She's like, why did you do that to me? Afterwards, I feel like if you and I were a tag team, every win would come off of a blind tag that irritated the other guy.
Yeah, just to do it to irritate the other person.
Yeah, it would be like desperation hot tags where the guy getting the hot tag is like, oh, really? You can't just, come on, man. Can you just take care of your shit? Why do you need me?
Yeah.
Stop needing me to do stuff.
But then when that person has the advantage, that's when the other one will tag in just to
exactly
just to spite them. Yes.
Yeah. After that, Bailey watches backstage. She's like, ha, idiots. So Io comes in, asks why Bailey left her dry last week during her match. And she was like, oh, I was going to go get the keys from the valet. And after Shotzi's video, I thought it was best to get out of there. And then Bailey opens up her backpack, and there's like this weird ransom note looking project in there with like a bunch of Shotzi's hair glued to it. Io and Bailey scramble to leave. Asuka steps in. She says, I have to face two of the best ever at SummerSlam, Charlotte and Bianca. If you're thinking about cashing in, I'll make you regret it forever. And Io says, I respect you, but it doesn't matter who wins at SummerSlam. I'm leaving as champ. And they start to leave, and Asuka sort of mad dogs Bailey a little bit, and Bailey freaks out.
Mm-hmm. The commentary announces that we're getting a Battle Royal at SummerSlam. It's going to be called the Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal.
Yeah.
So then we're backstage. Pierce is on the phone talking about Battle Royal, the field for the Battle Royal. LA Knight, steps in, says, let me talk to you. This is like hushed, almost shoot LA Knight voice.
Right,
Not in front of the crowd. So he says, after last week's debacle, you're looking at SummerSlam, the U.S. title. The biggest misstep is not having the biggest rising star in WWE history not being in the match. Let me make this right. Slim Jim Battle Royal. You want to make that mean something? There's only one man who can be in it, and you're looking at him. I'm talking about
LA Knight, But he says it kind of hushed. So then Sheamus steps in with the Brutes, says, hey, Pierce, tell Mr. Catchphrases here that the SummerSlam Battle Royal can't be won with promos. You got to fight like your life depends on it. When it comes to promos, me and the Brutes got a line of our own, and that goes banger after banger after banger. LA Knight interrupts and says, the only thing that's going to get banged is you getting banged upside the head, courtesy of the man they call the Megastar. And then Pierce puts them both in the Battle Royal and books a match between them for next week. After that, we had a Grayson Waller interview. He says, I did nothing to deserve that cheap shot that Jey Uso gave me. I was just trying to be a good bloke and get him on my show, but that's it. That's okay, because tonight Jay's going to pay. He's so stressed about Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, the biggest match of his career at SummerSlam, so he's not ready for the Grayson Waller effect.
Then we got Karrion Kross against Carl Anderson. What does Carl Anderson do?
Eats pins and gets really close to winning the G1 finals in 2012.
2012, that's right. So before Carl Anderson took a pin again, he's backstage with the rest of the OC, and AJ's like, we're going to have your back. And Carl Anderson goes, no. Got to do this myself. I want you all to stay backstage.
Mm-hmm.
So Cross went pretty quickly, cross hammer, and then this new finisher, which I guess is called the Final Prayer, gets a win there. And then he puts the cross jacket onto Carl Anderson after the bell. AJ and Mia Yim run out to make the save. And then eventually Doc Gallows makes his way out there too.
Yeah. He shouldn't be running down ramps, man. It just doesn't look good for his legs.
No, it doesn't.
So that's all good, Be the guy to hang back, do some recon, Mia and AJ, they got it handled.
And then you walk down in case anything gets out of hand. By the time, you walk to the ring, you're there to take care of it.
Sometimes you need a trailer. You need a guy trailing just to make sure, hey, I got it covered up here.
Hey.
After that, we had our main event, Jey Uso versus Grayson Waller. The Bloodline watches Zay's entrance, but then Roman, Solo, and Heyman come ringside to watch the match while it gets started, and that distraction there allows Waller to hit Jey with a leg lariat. Smackdown rolls on, and then Jey Uso, staring at Roman Reigns, picks up the win. He hits him with a spear with his own move, and then hits the splash on him, gets the win. So Solo hits the ring to attack Jey. Roman tells him to hit him with the spike, but Jey ducks it, hits Solo with a super kick. This was impressive because Roman hits the ring as Jey is like running towards him to bounce off the ropes. Roman slips, falls, recovers by the time Jey is bouncing off the ropes to hit that spear. Roman is so smooth, man.
Yeah, he is.
So then
Jey goes up the top rope. Solo pushes him off. Solo hits Jey with the Uranagi, and then him and Roman hit their spear spike combo, and the crowd is chanting, I believe, piece of shit at Roman.
Right, yeah.
And so Roman's like, all right, we're going to do it again. So Roman and Solo hit the spike spear combo one more time.
Ooh-wee. That's a gnarly looking. I'm surprised that didn't.
A double team finish.
That alone didn't put Jey in the hospittal. Probably should have.
Yeah,
Very devastating double maneuver.
Combination of moves there.
Combo of moves, exactly. Thank you. Before we get out of here, let's go ahead and answer some questions.
Yeah.
What the heck?
What?
That's weird. Hold on a second.
Alex Foster
you go
here
ahead
asked,
first.
At this point, what's next for Mustafa Ali? Do you guys think he'll ever be a champion?
Oh, man.
I hope so. I really hope so.
I hope so, too. I think that'd be perfect for that thing that I talked about before. If WWE ever comes up with their, like, wow, these are really cool, like, wrestlers championship. I'd love to see it, but, like, I feel like he's in a spot now where it doesn't really seem likely unless he just sort of catches on like that. But especially in this day where they really care about like records, I think Theory's like 40 days away or so from breaking, I think, Dean Ambrose's modern day record for the U.S. title.
Longest reigning U.S. champion.
And once that's done with, maybe we'll get a better feel. Like it wasn't that long after Bianca set the record that they took the title back off her. So maybe they'll be cool, like playing a little bit more hot potato, not maybe hot potato, but switching it up a little bit. Maybe we'll have a shot at the U.S. title.
Maybe.
I would like to think so, but I mean, until I see otherwise, I wouldn't put any money on it.
Yeah. Jack Napier.
Anonymous tip. Napier's cleaning out Axis chemicals. Okay, this is a bummer to me. Sorry. But I put up a question thread, and I think because the first version of this went bunk, the question thread itself on the YouTube channel memberships like just got turned off. Like they disappeared.
That's a bummer.
Let's see if I could find them. But go ahead and continue.
Jack Napier asks, what do you think the ceiling is for Carmelo Hayes? Could he be a face of the company guy? Absolutely.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. I don't see why not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Timor here says, what should be the next NXT event named after an old WCW pay-per-view that is yet to be used? Oh, Super Brawl or Hog Wild.
Hog Wild, Road Wild. Yeah.
Oh, was it Road Wild? That's what it was, not Hog Wild. Road Wild.
That's a Mandela thing because I always thought that there was a Hog Wild as well.
Wasn't there?
Go ahead and take a look at that one. I don't know.
Yeah, they did a Hog Wild in 1996.
Okay, all right, there you go.
From Sturgis, and they changed it to Road Wild, I guess.
And then they changed it to Road Wild?
Yeah.
All right. So they had both. There you go. Not a Mandela effect. That was real. That was not a fake thing. Yeah, it's sad. There were 6 questions from channel members. If you guys are here watching, feel free if you're a channel member, go ahead and drop us some questions if you want to.
This is a great question.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, from Nikyle says, since My Girl is the theme of Steve's favorite 2K wrestler, what other Temptation songs best suit the following wrestlers? Undertaker, Stone Cold, L.A. Knight.
All right. Let me go ahead and load up. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Who would Papa Was a Rolling Stone work for?
I was thinking Undertaker, Tombstone.
Good. No, that's perfect. That's good. What about Just My Imagination?
L.A. Knight?
No, you know what LA Knight is? Get ready. Get ready.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
For LA Knight. Oh,
get ready for LA Knight.
Get ready. Get ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. For Stone Cold Steve Austin. Man, I don't know about that one.
That one's a bit more difficult.
That is a little bit more difficult. Let me look at the awesome playlist that Maggie and Brittany busted out with during that stream. Oh, here we go. So this is Motown here. This isn't strictly the Temptations.
Okay.
Okay, so this one would work more for maybe Roman Reigns, given his psychological state. The Contours, Do You Love Me? Do you love me?
Yeah.
Although Superfly worked really well, yeah. Let's see here. How about this? The Four Tops, I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch, for Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because he can't help himself dropping people with Luthez presses.
Or stunners, for that matter.
Or stunners, yeah. I prefer the Luthez press, though.
Yeah, that's your favorite move now.
Yeah, it is.
Atomic Sunrise asks, what's more shocking, Cody losing to Roman or Brock beating the Streak? Brock beating the Streak.
That was definitely more shocking. Yeah, that was crazy shocking. Boy 316 Toy says, who will Gunther lose the IC title to, and who? Oh, and when?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
He'll probably have it through. He'll get the record because that seems to be their MO these days.
Like maybe around Survivor Series he'll lose it. Maybe. If they want to do that. I don't know. Cody,
Smurf
maybe.
Smurf Galway here says, are we getting MJF Cole 2 at Wembley and then MJF Punk 3 at All Out? Do we get 2 championship matches at Wembley? Lastly, does the 2 operating as champions independently of each other in storyline for now diminish both belts?
Who main events?
No, because only one is actually a real world title.
The CM Punk one. It's called the Real World's title.
No. MJF is the official sanctioned champion of AEW. He's the real champion.
Well, you can't say it's not real because the title is the Real World's champion. Don't look at the camera. Don't look at them. Don't do that shit. You're not Jim from The Office.
I do this shit all the time.
I know you do. I just wanted to point it out. I love when you do that shit. Okay, so who main events? If they defend, maybe they do the whole CM. Man, I don't know. I just don't know that CM Punk's going to lose that Real World's title anytime soon. I see him.
He is MJF, yeah.
You think You think they would do that?
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, they might do that. They might do that sooner than later. Then, if he's cool with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that maybe. All in is MJF Cole and All Out is CM Punk, and because they're in Chicago.
MJF.
If they're in Chicago, he's not going to lose in Chicago though.
Well, he lost Chicago before. MJF beat him twice in Chicago.
Twice.
In one match.
Yeah, man. Here's a good question.
What?
The Ashen Chevalier, which is a great name.
That is a good
name. Says, in our tag team, we were talking about our tag team earlier.
Yeah.
And I know you know the answer to this question, Larson. Who's the Marty Jannetty?
I mean, I have a shirt that says, I'm Sean, you're Marty.
No, man, we know the answer to this. We're both Marty Jannetty.
Yeah, we're both Marty Jannetty.
Ain't no Shawn Michaels between us. Get out of here with that. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Lars, can you give the people one more look into the camera? Till next time, we'll talk to you.